हरे कृष्णा। तो अभी आप सब वृंदावन और गोवर्धन पर्वत की परिक्रमा करके आए। तो नाउ वी वेलकम हिज होलीनेस भक्ति विघ्न विनाश नरसिम्हा स्वामी महाराज। So just a little introduction. Bhakti Vigna Vinasha Narasimha Swami Maharaj. So Tadar is arriving today only. Today morning he came to Abu Dhabi. Then whole day he was busy in programs. And then still we welcome him for this program. So Bhakti Vigna Vinasha Narasimha Swami Maharaj was initiated by Srila Prabhupada in London in 1971. A year later he received second initiation. He has been preaching for over last 25 years in Asian countries such as India, Philippines, China, Taiwan, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia and Thailand. Throughout his years of preaching, he has given countless souls practical guidance and deep inspiration. Taking sannyas in Mayapur in 1994 from His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj did not mean much of a change in his lifestyle, since Maharaj has always been strict in his sadhana. Whoever gets to know Maharaj admires and respects his sincere and faithful practice of chanting the holy names of the Lord. He truly walks his talk. Maharaj has been teaching with the Mayapur Institute since its inception. So we welcome His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Narasimha Swami Maharaj. Bhakti Vinod Narasimha Swami Maharaj ki Jai, Prabhupada ki Jai. So to request Maharaj to give a lecture for around 30 minutes on Damodar Leela or anything Maharaj you want to relate today's day. So Maharaj will speak in English. Everybody is okay on English? या किसी को इंग्लिश अगर नहीं समझ में आती तो हम ट्रांसलेशन का इंतजाम कर सकते हैं। आप सब लोग इंग्लिश में कंफर्टेबल हैं? कोई जो इंग्लिश में कंफर्टेबल नहीं है आप हाथ खड़ा करें। नंदकिशोर प्रभु आप सेवा करो।
Right in the
माइक इज प्योरिफाइड। नंदकिशोर प्रभु जो महाराज को लेकर आए, नंदकिशोर प्रभु हमारे लाइक ISO सर्टिफाइड ट्रांसलेटर हैं, इंग्लिश टू हिंदी और इंग्लिश टू हिंदी टू इंग्लिश। इवन इफ लाइक समटाइम्स इन द ट्रांसलेशन कि कोई अगर 2 मिनट पे कंटिन्यूअसली बोलेगा फिर भी वो डिटो ट्रांसलेट करेंगे। कहता है आई डोंट नो हाउ ही इज कंट्रोलिंग बट देन दैट्स हिज क्वालिटी। तो प्रभु आप रैम ज्यादा है, रैम हां रैम ज्यादा है, कहता हमारी रैम तो खराब हो गई है सब। तो देन नंदकिशोर प्रभु ट्रांसलेशन में एक्सपर्ट है। हमारे जितने भी कैलेंडर यहाँ का पब्लिशिंग प्रिंटिंग then like he is doing that designing work, so he is expert and disciple of the Bhakti Vinod Narasimha Swami Maharaj. तो प्रभु ट्रांसलेट करेंगे। तो हमारा टाइम थोड़ा सा कम हो जाएगा, कोई बात नहीं। तो महाराज जिन्होंने हमें 30 मिनट 30 मिनट दे have given, but with the translation Nandkishore will be doing translation, so we'll be left with only 15 minutes, but 40 minutes plus अगर एक ही जना है तो मैं भी अदरवाइज आपके लिए हम स्पेशल एक अलग से ट्रांसलेट एनीबॉडी। हितेश और हितेश आपके छोटे भाई भी थे ना? हाँ तो कोई पापा को ट्रांसलेट आप से कर दें तो हमारा टाइम बच जाएगा। महाराज से हम 30 मिनट्स का लेक्चर सुन पाएंगे। अदरवाइज ठीक है महाराज, यू कैन स्पीक इन इंग्लिश एंड one person was there, Hitesh father, so who is the host father, so he is important, but then like we'll arrange a private translation. प्रभु या तो आप करोगे प्राइवेट ट्रांसलेशन? तो प्रभु को आप साइड में कहीं पे आ जाओ इधर, जिससे कि सब लोग डिस्टर्ब नहीं होंगे।
yeah, be better.
आप इधर आ जाए, नंदकिशोर प्रभु आपको ट्रांसलेट कर देंगे।
Om Jnanatimarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shanyavari Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So now we're in this very auspicious time of the year, which we call the month of Kartik. And this is a very dear month to all the devotees of Lord Krishna. So this month of Kartik, Kartik is actually one of the names of Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani is the spiritual potency, the pleasure potency of Lord Krishna. And she's described as being the very best of all the devotees. She's the best of all the gopis. The gopis are the best of all the devotees, and among the gopis, the best gopi is Srimati Radharani. So one of her names is Kartik. This month is called Kartik. And during this month, we worship Lord Krishna. And there's great benefit in worship of Lord Krishna during this month. The benefit is that we can get rid of a lot of sinful reactions. Now, we have to understand that by nature, we're all here in the material world. And this material world is, although, you know, we try to make it comfortable. You know, here in Dubai, you know, you have a high standard of living and so on. But still there are miseries. Miseries are there for everyone, from the highest down to the lowest. From the Bhagavad Gita it's stated, from the highest planet down to the lowest. Everywhere is the place of birth and death. So that is the misery. We have to understand the temporary nature of the material existence. That although we may be very comfortable here, we cannot stay here forever. We cannot stay here forever because we have a material body. Although we are spiritual by nature, we're living in a material body. And the nature of the body itself is temporary. So we have to understand our situation here in this material world. That is my appeal to all of you to consider the importance of spiritual practice. That all of us have a duty in the human form of life to inquire about the absolute truth and to understand our purpose in being here. You know, generally people think, well, I want to make some money. We think about being successful economically. But there's more to life than just being economically prosperous. You know, you want to have a good health. When we speak about health, health is not only physical. You need also mental health. You want to be peaceful in your mind. That is important for all of us. To get peace of mind is something which you cannot buy with just money. You cannot buy it with just being comfortable. We want peace of mind. We have to know, we have to go more into our inner self. We have to understand our own self as not just simply the body and not just simply the mind, but our spiritual self, ourself as a soul, as spiritual beings. We're all eternally spiritual by nature. We're spirit souls. We say we are not the body, but we are souls living in a body. We want to therefore come to a proper understanding of our existence. And coming to that kind of consciousness, it requires association. So it's very nice to see that so many of you have gathered here this evening in this auspicious time of the year. And I can see from all the decorations that you're in the right mood, that you're going to offer the worship to the Lord. And it's very nice. But this is something which we want to do not just once, not just even just once a day, once in the year, or one month in the year, but we want to do it regularly. We need to make some regular spiritual practice. Just like keeping good health, you know, you want to do some exercises. People like maybe go for a morning walk. Srila Prabhupada, the doctor told Srila Prabhupada, you know, Srila Prabhupada had gone to America at an elderly age. He was already 70 when he'd gone to America. And the doctor told him, Swamiji, you should take a walk every morning. So Prabhupada took the doctor's advice seriously. And every morning, Prabhupada would like to go for a walk, wherever he was in the world. I walked with him in London, I walked sometimes in USA, I walked in India with Prabhupada. I had the opportunity to see Srila Prabhupada in these different places and to sometimes walk with him also. So walking, you know, you can't just say, oh, I'll just walk once a year, maybe I'll have a good walk, you know. I'll just do it once a year. You have to do it regularly. You know, just like cleaning your teeth. You know, you don't just clean your teeth once a year, you know. You have to clean them every day. It's a regular thing. And similarly also for spiritual practice. We need to be regular about it. It's something we have to do throughout the year. So I myself had the opportunity to dedicate my life in the service of the Krishna consciousness movement. I came to the Krishna consciousness movement when I was only 21 years of age. I met the devotees in London. I'd already graduated from university, and a few months later I met the devotees. And I was convinced that I would like to dedicate my life in this way. And by the grace of Krishna, I've had the opportunity to do that. And I encourage all of you that you should also consider the importance of spiritual practice, taking up regular worship of the Lord, or maybe not just worship, but reading books which have spiritual value, reading books like Bhagavad-gita, and we have other books also which we recommend devotees to read, like the Srimad Bhagavatam, or what's called the Bhagavad Purana. It's considered the essence of all the Vedas. So reading, hearing from these kind of sources, very important for us. And even more important than reading, association. Getting that association, being with similar people who are dedicating and who are serious in spiritual practice. It's a very valuable thing for all of us to get that right association. As the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. Right? And so when you have an interest in spiritual practice, you'll want to be with other people who are also interested in spiritual values. The crows are with the crows, and the swans are with the swans. we want to understand how we can cultivate a good standard of living. Standard of living is not just only economical, and it's not just only material, but it's also spiritual. And a good standard of spiritual living will be understood by the qualities which we reflect. And so it's important for us to understand how to apply spiritual knowledge, how to use that knowledge for our benefit. The benefit being that when we give up this body, we'll be sure of a good destination in the next life. And Srila Prabhupada went to the USA at the age of 70, and he told the people, I've not come to get from you, I've come to give you what you have forgotten. And he told them, he said, you're running on your four wheels. You have we see here in Dubai so many cars everywhere, everyone is a car. And so, four wheels. The dog also moves on four legs, right? The dog's business, what is the dog thinking? Where is food? Where is sleep? Like that. The business of the animals. Atyahara nidya maichunadi baya. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. This is the animal propensities. And if we are using our four wheels for these things also, then what is the difference between us and the animal? Human life is something very valuable. We have to use it for the higher purpose. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Rishabdev, who was considered to be one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu, recognized by Jain saints also as being one of the Tirthakars, and number one Tirthakar in the Jain tradition. We consider him an avatar of Lord Vishnu. He was retiring, he was moving into the Vanaprastha stage of life, what is called retired life, right? There are four ashrams. Brahmachari, meaning student life. Then Grihast, married life. And after married life, Vanaprastha, meaning retired life. And then finally there is a sannyas, renounced life. Renounced life is not for everyone, but generally everyone will take the first three. They're meant to anyway. We begin with student life, you study, then after your studies are over, you move into family life, get married, have a family. And the family grows up, the children grow up, they become independent, they don't need you anymore, Then your responsibilities, material responsibilities are finished, you move into retired life. Retire from the material duty to dedicate yourself more to the spiritual duties. And this was the tradition in the Vedic culture. And even great kings like Rishabdev, he was a king, an emperor. And he retired, he gave it all up. And before he retired, he instructed his sons. And he told his son, Nayam deho deha bhajam niraloke, kushtam kamarna hati vidbhujam ye, tejo divyam putrakayena sattvam, shudayad yasmat brahmashokyam tavanantam. Lord Rishabdev is telling his sons that don't waste your time trying to enjoy material pleasures. That is available even for the animals which eat stool. The pigs, they're also filling their belly, they're happy, they're thinking, I'm enjoying, the belly is full. He said, human life is not meant for that. Human life is meant for doing a little tapasya, austerity, right? What is that tapasya in this Kali Yuga? In this Kali Yuga, the austerity is made very easy for us. You have to chant the holy name. You have to worship the Lord and read the books about the Lord. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, a Bengali literature, they say, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Chant the names of Krishna, worship Krishna, and read the books about Krishna. This is the little tapasya we have to do in the Kali Yuga. And by doing this tapasya, then we purify ourselves. And with that purification, we can experience real pleasure. Real pleasure. The pleasure within. The pleasure of the soul. Not just satisfying the material senses. The real pleasure is within. Spiritual pleasure. Material pleasure is very limited and flickering, temporary. You get a nice new car. We saw one beautiful car today. Oh, Porsche, very beautiful sports car, electric as well, you know. And then Prabhu was saying that they're finding it difficult to charge the cars now. You know, they have so many electric cars, there's not enough places to charge. And so it's the nature of material pleasure. It's so difficult to enjoy. You get things, and how long you can enjoy them for. And they wear out, they get old, the pleasure diminishes. But spiritual pleasure always is increasing. It's a very dynamic experience. And we get that spiritual pleasure through these activities of devotion. This is the path of bhakti, the yoga path. Yoga leading to the union with the divine. The path of yoga is important for us to awaken that spiritual peace. And that spiritual peace grows and grows. We can experience the ultimate supreme pleasure of love of God, prema. So this is actually the real goal of life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had said, Prem Punarto Mahan. Actual wealth is developing this love for the Lord. Our wealth is not understood just by how many digits we have in our bank account, what gold card we have, you know. But the real wealth is how much we have developed the devotion for the Supreme Lord. And that can be understood by how we live in this world, by how much we're satisfied and happy to be in any situation in the material world. One can live in any situation. Narayana Parovyakta Swarga Apavarga Narakesh Vapito Yata Darshana. Narayana Parovyakta. I'm forgetting my Sanskrit. Anyway, those who have taken shelter of Lord Narayan, there's no difference between heaven and hell and liberation. They see everywhere the same. Whether you're in Swargaloka or Narak or Vimukti, whether you live, it's all the same for one who has freed from the material entanglement. He sees everywhere because he's taken shelter of the Lord, Narayan. So he doesn't see any difference between the different conditions of the world. We want to come to that kind of consciousness, and we can do it. This is the path of spiritual knowledge. We would say self-realization, to actually come to know ourselves. You know, we think of ourselves as the body. We look in the mirror, we think this is me, you know, we have to try to make the best make up the best out of a bad bargain, you know. So we try to put on a good face, but the real self is within. It's not the external, it's within. But we have to look within and awaken that spiritual self. And it comes about very easily through the practice of bhakti. And you're doing that here this evening. So my request is that don't just do it only once. Don't be irregular. Try to make it a regular affair. That you can do these things anytime, any place. And you may not be able to do them so opulently as they're done here, so extensively. You can do it in a very simple manner. And you can do it with your family. And in this way you can make your home, just like a temple. You can make it a very peaceful, happy place. That is our real pleasure in life. And that is how your life can become successful. Okay, so I think I've used up my time, about half an hour.
No, Maharaj, only 19 minutes.
Oh, really? Okay, thank you for it. All right, so we're talking about the importance of Bhakti Yoga. There are many different yoga paths. People think meditation is very nice. And meditation is very spiritual. Sitting silently, they think, oh, very spiritual. Well, certainly there's no harm in that kind of thing, but it's very difficult to make progress through that kind of meditation. Just being silent and sitting, then we think, oh, peaceful, very spiritual. But you progress very slowly through that method. But what is recommended in this age, because this age is the Kali Yuga. You see, in the Satya Yuga, people could do that kind of meditation, sit and meditate. You can read in the Puranas, in the scriptures, it describes about people like Kardama Muni. He meditated for 10,000 years. No, we're Kali Yuga people. We don't live 10,000 years. Hardly we live even 100 years. So, in the Satya Yuga, people could do that kind of meditation. But in the Kali Yuga, we're of a different nature. We're not so qualified. We have a short life. We don't live very long, really. The Christian Bible said 70 years and 10, meaning 70. And once you get to 70, after 70, then you're on bonus time, you know. That means any time you can go. So we have to understand our precarious situation here in the Kali Yuga. We have a short life. Vyasadeva described the condition of people in the Kali Yuga. Vyasadeva, when he wrote the Vedic literature, he could understand the nature of everything, and he predicted the qualities of people in the Kali Yuga. He described how we would have a short life, and he said also we would be lazy. And we see, you know, we are quite lazy, you know. We don't walk anywhere. We have lifts to walk up, to go up the stairs, you know, have lifts. People have lifts in their homes, some people, you know. What to speak of the apartments. Everywhere, we want machines to do everything. Machine to clean our teeth, and something like that. We do get quite lazy, and then we're also often misguided. We're easily misdirected. We follow paths which are not so meaningful and so valuable for us. We're unlucky. You know, unlucky could mean many things. We could just have so many troubles with our own life. That could be, we could say, bad luck. But we're all unlucky. It's a very common situation. And we're always disturbed. It's also very common. The diseases of the mind, people to be peaceful. And we see even young children, they're not peaceful in their minds. Young children are often very disturbed. It's very difficult for them to be peaceful. Medicines, you can see everywhere, pharmacy shops with a huge number of drugs, all for different diseases. So trying to meet the different problems of the society. So Kali Yuga, Vyasadeva said, so many problems in the Kali Yuga. But then he said, there's one good thing about Kali Yuga, that simply by chanting the holy name, one can get all success. Kaler dosha nide rajan astihe ko mahadguna kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha parambrajat. The age of Kali is an ocean of faults. Kaler dosha nide rajan, right? You have many doshas in your chart. Have you checked out your chart, your astrological chart? Oh, doshas are there. Oh, right, faults, things are there, not very auspicious things. Maybe you have a dosha. Oh, there was one girl, she had doshas in her chart. They thought the first marriage will not be successful. Okay, marry a banana tree. Right? So first marriage was to a banana tree. Then second marriage was successful. So sometimes we do things like that. The age of Kali, ocean of faults, but there's one good thing, simply by kirtan. Kaler dosha nidhi rajan asti eko mahadguna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha parambraja. Just by chanting the names of Krishna in kirtan, one can get all success in our life. What is the success? The success, now we have this human form of life. But if in the next life we become a dog, then what is the good? We've wasted the human life. So very important we think about the future, right? You always tell your children, think of the future, work hard, study hard, think of your future. We have to also think of our future. We're getting older. We're not going to live forever. Anytime we can leave the body. When we leave where are we going to go? Where do you want to go? If you don't know where you want to go, then it doesn't matter. But we should think seriously. Where do we want to go in the future? What is our desired destiny? You want to come back again in the future? Come back to Dubai? Come back as a tree in Dubai. You don't know what would be the destiny, what would be our destiny. We have to be very careful and think about the future. When we give up this body, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam chachite anti kalevaram. Whatever we remember at the end of life, we'll go to that destination in the next life. So we have to train ourselves to think of the Lord, to fix our mind on Him. It takes practice. Not very difficult, but it takes practice. You have to practice. Just like everybody, the child growing up, they have the ability to walk. They have to learn to walk. It takes some practice. When they go to school, they learn to read and write. It takes some practice. Similarly, we have to practice bringing the mind to think of the Supreme Lord and to understand we have a relationship with Him. What is that relationship? He is the Master and we are His servants. You may say, oh, I don't want to be servant. We should understand it's a very glorious position to be the servant of God. It is not an ordinary thing. It is very wonderful to be the servant of the Supreme Lord. People are serving dog, they're serving cat, they're serving the country, they're serving society. We serve so many, but to be the servant of the Supreme Lord, that is the most glorious thing, the most wonderful thing. And so we want to come to that kind of consciousness. And it's not difficult. The ability is there within all of us. But we have to use it. We have to follow the process. And it's based on hearing and chanting regularly. Hearing and chanting. So you've come here this evening, you're hearing. We're encouraging you also to chant. And chanting and dancing. Chant together, go back to Godhead together. Okay, Prabhu? Prabhu Prabhupada ki
जय। किसी का कोई प्रश्न, any question, any comment, quick, we can take one or two. Don't hesitate. अगर कोई किसी का कोई आज के टॉपिक से रिलेटेड या वैसे भी कोई अगर प्रश्न है तो it's difficult to find a spiritual guru in this part of the world. लेकिन आज है तो उसका take advantage of your questions. किसी के मन में कुछ आ रहा है तो
Maharaj, constant remembrance will come also through practice.
Yes, constant remembrance. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was told about concentrating the mind, and he said, my mind is more restless than the wind. Very difficult to control the mind. My mind is turbulent, obstinate, restless, chanchala himana Krishna, he said. So chanchal. So, yes, Krishna said, yes, I know it's difficult, but by practice and detachment, it's possible. So two things are required. Not only practice, but also detachment from the material, right? We have to let go a little of the material things. That's required in order to be successful with the practice. If you're holding on to the material, then it will be difficult to progress. Right? So, detachment, how to let go. Just like there's a story, the one man came to his teacher and said, you know, I'm so attached, how can I let go? I'm so attached. So his guru told him, said, oh, okay, he said, just wait, in the future I will tell you. So later that day, he heard this guru yelling out, help, let me go, help, let me go, let me go. He came running, he saw his teacher, he was holding onto a tree, and his arms around the tree, he was shouting, help, let me go, let me go. And so the student said to the teacher, he said, teacher, Guruji, what's wrong? He said, I want to let go. And the teacher said to the student, he said, yes. He said, you were asking me about letting go, how to get detached. He said, I'm holding on to the tree, He said, I just have to let go, right? He said, I'm the one holding on to the trees, not the material things that are holding on to me. As me, I'm holding on to them. So you want to get free, you have to let go. It's up to us as individuals. We have to let go of the material. And how to do that is very simple. If you just simply take to this hearing and chanting, Shravanam Kirtan Vishnu, you hear and chant regularly, without even thinking about it, naturally you will become detached from the material. This is a painless process. If you simply take part regularly, come for the association and the programs, and hear regularly, chant, naturally, without even thinking about it, you'll become less and less interested in the material. And you'll take more and more pleasure in the spiritual. The higher taste. You will develop the higher taste. And so this is the process, right? Practice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you. Any other question, comment? Last प्रश्न किसी का?
प्रभु महाराज के साथ ब्रजनंद प्रभु आए हैं।
आप इनका
प्रभु चाइना से हैं।
आप इनका परिचय दें।
ब्रजनंद प्रभु। तो हमारे साथ ब्रजनंद प्रभु भी हैं, जो अभी एक्चुअली गुरु महाराज जी श्रीलंका में थे लगभग 1 महीने के लिए। जहाँ